Hi, my name is Chrissy and this is my garden tour. I garden in Virginia, Zone 7A. It is late June. I completely not forgot to do early June. It just has been a really busy start of summer, surprisingly. But anyways, let's get into it. Okay, we are aiming for short and sweet today. I will say though, I am using a new tool to help keep the camera more stable, and it's gonna take me a little bit to figure out because I'm not the most tech savvy. But we'll start in this garden bed. The first two beds are primarily my herb beds, but I mix other things in there as well. So I have some strawberries right here that have been producing for me, an iris that's past bloom. I want to say this might be a rudbeckia, but I'm not quite certain. The dill did go ahead and bloom, so that's looking really pretty. The peach tree, by the way, is doing really well. I think that's either rose, nope, that's lavender. I have some parsley in there. It's just a mixture. I also do have some foxglove and some more iris, but again, past bloom. Over here on this trellis, you'll notice that my sweet peas are looking pretty much dead. I'm purposefully trying to dry these out so that way I can save the seeds and some of the seed pods if I can find some. I've already started to do that for. So it's gonna look a little bit gross for now, but I'm in it for the long run. We do have some squash that's growing down here, and then some beans. I think specifically these are pumpkins. Same thing is happening on this side with the bed as well, because I want the trellis to be mirrored. We have iris and again some herbs and whatnot. So not too much going on that is different. Again, we're trying to keep this short and sweet. Same situation for this trellis. This is going to be dried peas. That's going to be taken over by pumpkin and green beans. Then we have, if this will focus, I like that it stabilizes, but I don't like that it's like trying to anticipate where I want to film. If you guys have any tips on how to make this better, please let me know. Then we have some celery and kale, which I probably need to do something with at this point, along with some dill. But yeah, I definitely could go ahead and preserve that, probably just freeze the kale for some smoothies or something, but it does look good. It's dinosaur kale if you're curious about the variety. Oh, and today is June 24th, I believe, so it's still going pretty strong. I will say though, I feel like our summer has been a little more on the cool side. We have a cucumber trellis and they're doing really well. They are also putting off itty bitty little baby cucumbers. So we are actually leaving tonight to go visit my mother-in-law. It's my father-in-law's 1-year anniversary of passing, so we're gonna all be together. It's kind of crazy, it's been a year, but when we get back, I'm excited to see what the garden will look like. Here is the rhubarb. Dude, can you just let me show this? Okay, this is gonna take some serious editing, or we're just gonna all have fun laughing at my bad tech skills. Rhubarb, I was able to make some rhubarb strawberry scones with, and oh my gosh, what are you doing? Okay, so I had to take over. I think my stabilizer died. Just comment down below if me taking over is better than the stabilizer before. We have some First Lady snapdragons. They could be fuller, but I think a lot of them are about to bloom too. But look at this. These are my glads. I did have to stake them up, and I got this bag from Costco, and there was some mold on it, but as you can see, a lot are thriving, so I'm really happy about that. We have some purple and dark purple. Very pretty. Okay, I'll take you guys through the berry patch area. Our raspberries, really only this bed, have taken off, and we have some raspberries at the top. I do have to weed this. Over here though, I have a volunteer squash. I love volunteers. I don't get many, but I love them. I don't know what variety this is, but I do think it's a pumpkin at this point because it has set female flowers. And you can see one of them right there. Female flowers, by the way, are going to be the ones with ovaries. So like I showed before, oh, see, I'm trying to do a selfie area and it's not quite working. But if you can see the start of a fruit, even on something like cucumbers, if you can see the start of the fruit, that's the female flower. Something like this, which is all stem and there's nothing underneath here, this is where the ovary would be if it were a female flower. This is a male flower, so you're not going to get any fruit off of this. And what my nonna would do is she would go ahead and take the male flowers and she'd stuff them with like ricotta and I actually don't know what else. Speaking of, I did just want to update my grandma. I have mentioned her several times on this channel. She did unfortunately pass away. We are grateful that she is with the Lord and she is with my grandpa. But I figured since I've brought her up a few times that I'd mention it to the 40 of you that watch this video. But yes, she did end up passing away. As far as I'm aware, it was just old age. Yeah. She's been in and out of the hospital a few times, but anyways, she knew the Lord. She's excited to go home, and our grandpa is waiting there for her. So it's bittersweet for us on earth as we will, you know, obviously mourn the loss of her, but heaven gained another soul, and that is something to celebrate. So anyways, just wanted to give an update. All right, as Renee says in Twilight, enough with the heavy. This is my strawberry bed, as well as this bed. I have actually been picking from it for breakfast. You're technically supposed to, if you really want good fruit next year, you're supposed to just let them go, pick all the flowers and stuff like that. However, I have been on vacation. Flowers have come, flowers have been pollinated, and fruit has been born. Barren? Whatever. So I've eaten that and it's been delicious. This is my blueberry bed. Nothing crazy to report here yet, unless some birds are picking things off that I don't realize. And then down there, I'm not even going to go over there. That's the asparagus bed. You just got to let it do its thing. Don't even pick it. Okay. Then these monsters. Okay, these are my sunflowers. I am 5'4". And these are probably a good foot, yeah, I'd say a foot taller than me. So we have sunflowers that are over 6 feet. They're looking great. And if you can kind of see, we have some that have buds on the top. So we are again going to visit family today, but I expect when we get back that those might be in bloom. We'll see. Okay, we're gonna go down this way and then this way. I did take off a lot of the pea plants. I didn't need to save every single seed, so I decided to just save the ones at the front. We do have some volunteer, what were these called? Volunteer beans from last year. They were, I wanna say these ones ended up being the purple ones because I see purple vines, but I don't remember the name of it. This is intended to be a loofah bed, and you can see the loofahs over here. They're growing nice and big, but I will never say no to a volunteer because I do feel like they have an earlier advantage. Like this one's already super tall. We have one growing up a sunflower, so if it ends up where I get more bean production than loofah, that's fine, but I have intended this to be loofah, and I do think I'll get some. So then we have the echinacea. These, when they're in full bloom, these are just my favorite flowers. Aren't they just so pretty? Again, not all of them look super great all the time, but just like the mix of colors is gorgeous. This is anise hyssop, so I have that right in the center. I actually thought that I planted yarrow here, but I guess I did not, and it's just fine. Again, my garden looks really messy. I'm just trying to be productive. I have spinach here. It has gone to seed, but I'm waiting for this to dry completely out so that way I can successfully save it. There is road work going on, so if you hear that, sorry. I have onions. I haven't harvested them just yet. Volunteer Cosmo. We have foxglove that's past bloom. Volunteer bean. This is intended to be the, I think this side is camo, and this side is a long variety of squash. I'm forgetting what the name is. And then I have a volunteer zinnia as well. Do I have any other spots where I planted zinnia? I don't think so. Same thing on this side, camo, and then the long straight variety of squash. It's not the what is that called? It's not the serpentine. That's something else. But again, you see like more of these beans, so definitely not going to say no to that. Let me actually show you around the back before I forget. Here's the asparagus bed I said I wouldn't show, but these are salvias. The white one has yet to bloom, but the salvias, I did deadhead them before, and new flowers have come back, so that's kind of nice. But I thought this would get bigger. I think probably when it's more mature it will. These guys are almost ready. You can see that we can start to see like a little bit of bulb formation, but it's definitely nowhere ready to pick. Again, you can see some bulb formation. These are looking quite small. Could just be there. I packed a bunch of stuff here and I didn't give a lot of resource to it. And then we have, what is this, either rosemary or lavender? That is lavender. And I think that is not something I want, but there's weeds galore. I will get to it when I get to it. And actually, while I'm here, we have iris. These are the onions. And then I planted some, I think these are called midnight snack tomatoes. These are loaded up. They're actually really cute because they have, is this called anthocyanin? Something that reacts to the light. However, where the stem meets the fruit, it wasn't able to get light there, same as the bottom. And so when you pick it, there's a cute little star on it. Isn't that adorable? I love that. But these are still really hard. I'm gonna just put it on the counter though, let it soften inside. And then same thing on this side. Nothing much. The cat likes the pond water. Nothing much else to report. Onions, tomatoes. These tomatoes, what are these called? Mr. Stripey. Nothing has started to grow, but I wanted to plant these here so that way when the onions come out, we're good to go. I did plant a baptisia, and I actually completely forgot to seed this set and that set of trellis. I need to do, I think, Malabar spinach. I will probably try to do that today before I leave because we will be gone for a week, and I am posting this after we get back, for all the moms and dads out there. I thought I had planted some cantaloupe here and cantaloupe here, but I'm not really seeing any come up. Oh, I see a very little dude. He's not looking strong. So I'm gonna have to reseed them. These are zinnias, I think. So hopefully those will look nice. And then we'll go on this side. More volunteer beans mixed in with the onions that will go shortly. We have a sage, really pretty hollyhocks. The lighting's not great on that, but really pretty. More of the echinacea. And then, okay, are you guys ready for an eggplant update? So if you have watched my previous videos, you'll know that I have an ongoing battle with flea beetles, as I think like pretty much everyone does here in the Northeast. Last year, my eggplants were awful. And I still do have some flea damage, but it's not nearly as bad as last year. Like the plants actually look healthy. Again, I can see some lacing, but it's not as bad. And I am seeing lots of flowers, lots of fruit. It's the plant itself is so much taller than it was last year. So I kind of feel confident. So let me show you what I've done. Okay, so here's the plant. Again, you can definitely see the lace work, but this plant is still green. The leaves are still perky, and there's a bunch of like flowers, and I even saw a fruit on here too. All right, so here is one of my fruits. Like, that's the biggest eggplant that I've gotten so far. That when I tell you my eggplant journey is awful, like I'm not kidding. So I'm very happy with what we've done so far. And and if you notice, there's white on some of these. What's been, I think, working for me is throwing down some kaolin powder and some diatomaceous earth. All right, then we have these snapdragons. This one is, I believe, called Orange Wonder, if you like the color. And it is from, mine is from Baker's Creek. And I love the dragon. All right, then we have mustard. I am trying to save this for seed to make my own ground mustard, but the birds have been finding all the seeds and eating it before I can collect them. So a little annoyed there, but whatever. We have lavender, we have peppers growing, more cucumbers. The cucumbers are setting fruit. You can see, can I zoom in there? Ooh, sorry, it's gonna take me a second. Okay, you can see that, maybe that little fruit right there and that little fruit right there. Again, those are female flowers because the ovary is what turns into the fruit. We have Thai basil, just a bunch of stuff. Looks like my cucumber is moving down that way. Here are some potatoes, which I'm also using as a trap crop for the flea beetles. You can see these are not looking super good, and I'm thinking it's probably gonna worsen my potato harvest. But I really want eggplants, so I'm kind of not too concerned. I forget what this flower is called, but it's looking good. Purple basil, I think that's barbecue rosemary. We have some blue thistle. This is in my wedding bouquet, so I wanted to grow it, and looks like it is covered in some kind of an insect. I don't know if you'll be able to see that because they're super small, but I do have some tomatoes. I had to replace a plant, but the rest I grew from seed. Here's how the nasturtium's doing. Dahlias are looking like crap. Got basil. I think this is like lanai something, tomato, Tuscany, rosemary, and then we're over here. This is going to be my zucchini rampicante trellis. However, I did plant something else here and I forget what it was, so that might also pop up as well. I am saving some of the seeds here, and the cilantro has gone to seed, so I'm trying to save that as well and dry it out. And then I planted some kidney beans. So they are starting to come up, and that should be a 60-day harvest. I'm trying to think. Oh, yep, here's another. That should be a 60-day harvest. Am I pointing at it? Yeah. So I'm excited about that. And then here's my corn bed. Knee high by the 4th of July. I think we've almost hit that. I'm doing the 3 sisters method with the corn. So next to the corn I planted beans, and then if I can find it, I do have some watermelon growing as well. And I did kind of plant a lot. Here's some more watermelon, corn, watermelon, corn. Looks like that bean figured out what to do, which is exciting. So hopefully we have some good growth. I think this one is Moon and Stars, which is supposed to have a speckly pattern, and I think the leaf pattern is intentional. But all right, and now we're in the back. I'm not really going to go down this row too much. It's just tomatoes and onions. Nothing's ready yet, so it's not too impressive. I think next year I'm not going to do tomatoes here because I can't, weed my neighbor's side, and I just feel like it blocks some sunlight, and it makes it like a little bit less airflowy. So I think instead, this might be a little crazy, but I think instead I might do tomato, tomato, tomato rows, and then do something else over here because I just want so many tomatoes. I did harvest my garlic, and that is currently curing in the house because I don't have any spot inside. And oh, I see my first one. The screen's getting dark so I can't quite see, but this is a cannellini bean. This is what my family uses for white chicken chili, and it is my favorite, and I'm excited that those have taken. I think the last row of cannellini is somewhere over here, and then I did go ahead and I put squash inside. We have, I think, spaghetti squash is the first three, and then yellow crookneck is the next. I actually do want to show these ones because I'm hoping, if we can see it, I'm hoping that when I get back from my trip, hang on, this might be easier to see with sunglasses, kind of, not really. I can look back at this and see if there's been any growth. And I really tried to like stake down the sides of the netting. I think this is when the yellow straight neck starts. I really tried to get the netting all secured because I also deal with squash vine borers, and those suckers are the bane of my existence. Here we have Romas, and they're mixed in with some chickpea plants, which looks like something might be eating them. And I do have some tomatoes on here. Can we see that? The screen is so dark, so it's hard for me to see, but none are red. Here are the chickpeas, and they're looking good. It'll be a small harvest, and I just have to wait for those to dry. And yeah, nothing over here because I harvested those. This I did by my local garden center. It did a 50% off plants, so the tomato plant was like $2.50. I do forget what this one I think is Mortgage Lifter, or I forget. And then in this bed we have some pumpkins. I kind of want to reseed the pumpkin seeds, and then poppies that look like they're past their prime. And I've just been trying to go like this to see if they're ready. Yesterday I did harvest some. Maybe this one. No. You need to hear it rattle to know that the seeds are dry. So obviously you don't want to put away wet seed and then it molds. So okay, this I'm super excited about, and I really hope when we get back that this is just glorious. So this is my sunflower no water mixture area. We also have milkweed too. But yeah, sunflowers look like they might bloom shortly. I don't know if you guys can see that because I'm a little too short. But yeah, we have some blackberries mixed in here that are wild. Look at that one. So I'm excited. We'll see how this all turns out. But yeah. So that is the garden tour. Thanks for watching. I will try to get a garden tour when I come back in like early July, just to show you how quickly things do change in the summer months, especially when we get a good rain. But I got a bunch of other things I have to do for today before we leave, including moving, like, I'm not even kidding you, probably a ton of dirt, not dirt, mulch. So I'm gonna go do that. But again, thanks for watching this video. I almost forgot my stabilizer, and I'll see you in the next one.